Let's go, y'all. The NFB is Ice, Ice, baby. Let's go, y'all. Put your hands together. Let's go. Come on, y'all. Let's have some fun. Put your hands together. And listen. Mission. Hey, let's go. I don't know. Turn off the lights and I'll glow. To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal. Light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. Dance. Crush a speaker that booms. I'm killing your brain like a poisonous mushroom. Deadly. When I play a dope melody, anything less than the best is a felony. Love it or leave it. You better gain weight. You better hit bulls how the kid don't play. If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while the DJ revolves it. Is jumping with the bass kicked in and the fingers are pumping. Quick to the point, no faking. Cooking MCs like a pound of bacon. Burning them, I get quick and nimble. I go crazy when I hear a cymbal and a hi-hat with a souped up tempo. I'm on a roll, it's time to go solo. Rolling in my 5.0, put my rag top down so my hair can't blow. The girl is on standby waiting just to say hi. Did you stop? No, I just drove but I kept on. Pursuing till the next block. I'm like left and I'm heading to the next block. The block is dead, yo, so I continue to A1A, Beach 1 Avenue. Girls were hot, wearing less than bikinis. Rockman lovers, driving Lamborghinis. Jealous, cause I'm out getting mine. Shades in the gauge and vanilla with a 9. Ready for the chumps on the wall. The chumps acting ill because they're full of A-ball. Gunshots, rings out like a bell. I got my knife, all I heard was shell. Falling on the concrete real fast. Jumped in my car, slammed on the gas. Bumper to bumper, the avenue's packed. I'm trying to get the wave of the jack is jack. Police on the scene, you know what I mean? They passed me up, could run it on the go. If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while the DJ revolves it. Y'all didn't know I could rap, did you? Let's see, how's it go? Take heed, cause I'm a lyrical poet. I was on the scene just in case you didn't know it. That created all the bass sound. Holes in the ground, my style's like a chemical spill. People around with condition and feel. Connected to four, just a hell of a concept. We make it hype, and you want to step. I don't know this one so much. I raise the blade so fast. Damn. I sell it by the gram. When it's time to get loose, magnetized by the mic, will I kick my juice? If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while the DJ revolves it. Hey, only in AG. Ice, ice, baby. I'm vanilla, baby. Take the mic, take the mic. Yo, man, hey, y'all, give it up for Joe right there. MCJG in the house.
have seen it in the action of a chapters many and strong. Good leadership and courage have righted many wrongs. Let's aid NFB's programs and join in the battle song. Our cause goes marching on. Glory, glory, Federation. Glory, glory, Federation. Glory, glory, Federation. Our cause goes marching on. Tenbrook has sounded trumpet, which shall never sound retreat. We have sifted out the hearts of blind before our judgment seat. Oh, be swift or blind to answer and be jubilant your feet, 'cause our cause goes marching on. Glory, glory, Federation. Glory, glory, Federation. Glory, glory, Federation. Our cause goes marching on. Our cause goes marching
The afternoon session is in order. Let's get a door prize.
All right, who wants a door prize? Now, I have a question. Who doesn't want a door prize? Oh, I heard somebody say me. You don't want a door prize. First of all, I want to thank all of the people who collected the door prizes and everyone who donated items for the door prizes and the auction. And remember this, the door prizes increase in value as we go along. They increase, yes. So you don't want to miss that. We pair things together and combine things, and we increase the value of them. And you guys start dusting off your credit cards now, dusting them off from last year, because we have an auction happening after the banquet, maybe during the banquet too. Maybe we'll auction the banquet, who knows?
What's the prize, Gene?
What's that, Joe?
What is the prize? The door prize.
The door prize is, yes, that is our door prize music, Joe. $30 from the Red Devil Restaurant. Woo! We have a pound of New York peanut brittle. Where's your peanut song there, Joe? And we have an NFB hat. Yes. Daniel Alcanara. Are you here? Nope. Moving on. Kevin Lowe. Kevin Lowe.
Oh, no. He's not here.
Kevin James. Oh, this
Kevin
is
James
not good.
is not here either.
Carrie Kemp.
Carrie Kemp?
Elisa Pollard.
Okay.
Finally. Elisa Pollard. All right.
Okay, Okay, we do got to get started. We have a packed afternoon. If I can have your attention, please. We are now at one of my favorite parts of convention, the time when we listen to the wise words of our president. It's really hard for me to actually talk about my admiration for President Porterfield without getting too emotional. So I just have never seen anybody as resilient as him and just so dedicated to the cause no matter what life brings toward him. If y'all don't know, he just got out of the hospital not too long ago, and he is right here leading the charge because he will not let anything defeat him. That's the type of leader we need, man. And we're lucky in Arizona because if you guys don't know, President Porterfield not only is the president of our affiliate, but he also sits on the national board of the NFB, and he's the chair of the resolutions committee for nationally. So we have a star as a president. One of his favorite quotes that he uses is from Martin Luther King: "The moral arc of the universe bends towards justice." What an incredible quote. And I think that really sums up the way that he is leading us. So it is my pleasure to introduce President Porterfield. But before I officially introduce him, I need everybody right now to really show him how much we love and appreciate him by making this the loudest cheer that we've had all weekend so we can get ready to hear an amazing presidential report. So as soon as I introduce him, I need everybody on their feet. If you can, I need you to cheer loud so we can show the president how much we appreciate him. Are you ready for the presidential report? I present to you our fearless leader, President Donald Porterfield.
Sister, that she's gotta rise up. When a folks like me and you gonna rise up. Every city, every hood, we need to rise up. For my soldiers, we need to rise up. We ain't got no other choice, we need to rise up. Rise up.
Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, members of the National Federation of the Blind of Arizona. It has been a difficult time. I say that because, as Jordan alluded to, I was admitted to the hospital on the 5th of this month and released on the 12th. And, I kept thinking, oh my God, I'm missing a board meeting. Oh my God, we got state convention coming up and I'm still here in the hospital. But the things that drive and that motivate me are the people in this room. I work as a prosecutor for Pima County, Arizona. And the people I work with, when I first started there in the office, and they saw how much of my time I committed to the National Federation of the Blind, to our movement, they said, so how much do you get paid? And I was like, paid? Well, I don't get paid. And they were like, well, you seem to take a lot of your vacation and expend a lot of your own time working, for the National Federation of the Blind. Do they have like paying jobs? I'm like, yeah, they do, but we're a volunteer-based organization, and it's that is the root of our success. That we are volunteers, and we're here because we believe in the goals, the purpose, and the mission, the vision of the National Federation of the Blind. One of the things that I am and people that know me know I am, and that is an absolute fanatic about Hamilton. I mean, so much of a fanatic that Amy and I took a red eye to New York so that we could see it when Leslie Odom Jr. Reprised his role as Aaron Burr, recently. And we basically took a red eye. We saw 2 Broadway shows and flew back to Arizona, was back in the office at work, like Monday. So it was just a long and a quick weekend. But in Hamilton, there's a phrase that you hear a lot of people say all the time. I want to be in the room where it happens. Well, guess what, folks? Welcome to the room where it happens. 80 years, 1 symphony and countless melodies. We're celebrating 8 decades as an organization, as a part of the organized blind movement, the National Federation of the Blind. And we make it happen. We get to pick the menu, the venue. We get to pick the priorities, those legislative priorities, those issues that are important to blind people. Not those issues that people think are important to us, but the authentic, true version of issues that are important to us. And this weekend exemplifies what we do and what we do best, and that is advocate for the rights of blind people. Now, before I get deep into the report, I want to thank a lot of different parts of our organization, because it's not me, it's not anyone, like it's not the membership committee, it's the individuals. So first and foremost, I want to thank the members of the National Federation of the Blind of Arizona. Next, I want to thank those chapters of the National Federation of the Blind of Arizona for pulling members, who live in a community, for pulling them together and keeping them organized. So thank you to the chapters. I also want to thank the divisions of the National Federation of the Blind of Arizona. You reach out to those interest groups that generally focus on careers or significant stages in your lives, our lives, such as the senior division, the student division. So I want to thank those chapters, those divisions, our merchants divisions, and please, I don't intend to slight you if I don't mention you, but thank you to the divisions of the National Federation of the Blind of Arizona. Now, I also want to thank our partners, because without our partners, it would definitely be a steep hill to climb, a long road to walk. It would be uphill both ways, to and fro. So I'd like to thank our partners who give us support, whether it's in terms of dollars or whether it's people, labor, or resources. So thank you to the partners of the National Federation of the Blind. Now, Thursday night, we talked about our 80 years, about our history, and I spoke briefly about reflecting on our past. And so, once again, I want to reflect a little bit on our recent past, because it pulls us all together. 2021, we talked about our unfinished business. And we have a lot of business because, as Tariq said, there are over 50,000 blind people here in the state of Arizona. And, we would have to be packed inside Arizona Stadium if that's how many blind people we had attending our convention. We don't have that many people, so we're not reaching everybody. And our business, as we proclaimed back in 2021, would not be finished until every blind people had achieved equality, opportunity, and security in this world. We had a quote by a young poet laureate, Amanda Gorman. Ours is not a broken nation. It is just unfinished. And that is the same with the goals and the purposes of the National Federation of the Blind. Now, our community includes all blind people. So in 2022, we talked about our movement, our collective story. This is the organized blind movement. It is our movement. It is led by us. And the stories that flow from our movement, they're our stories. They're not the stories of the sighted or the visual industrial complex. They're our stories, the authentic stories told by blind people. Now, to become a part of our organization, all you have to do is join, become a member. I urge everybody to be a member of a local chapter, to engage and become members in those divisions that appeal to you. Now, in 2023, the movement, we are the center. Without blind people, without us at the core of this movement, we lose our strength. We lose that structure. So we're celebrating each and every one of us as individuals, and we further celebrate the fact that as a collective, coming together with a single purpose, we are much stronger than we are as individuals. Now, in 2024, we talked about owning our collective dignity. And we spent a lot of time talking about our dignity. Who can take our dignity away from us? A lot of people try. But if you truly own your dignity, no one can take it from you. I'm blind and I'm proud. Now, to follow up, we also talked about the worlds that people talk about. They talk about our world, air quotes, our world. That's the blind world. They talk about their world, the sighted world. But our leaders over the decades have constantly preached that there is no blind world, there is no sighted world. There is one world, and it is our world. It belongs to each and every one of you. It belongs to everybody. And we and our business will not be finished until every blind people has been given full access to that world. In 2025, Stronger Together, reclaiming our shared truth. Why do we have to reclaim our truth? How is it our shared truth? Or why is it our shared truth? We have to reclaim our shared truth because there are many others. Once again, it is that Vision Industrial Complex. That is the group of organizations or entities that are out there saying, we are doing this for you. We are doing this for you, the blind people, because you do not have the capacity to do it yourselves. We don't believe in that. You know, it is our story to tell, and we are very able, we are competent in telling that story, because only we can tell the authentic story of blind people. So we, as an organization, we must demand and we must take back that shared truth, that collective truth of blind people. So, now, today, you know, we've talked about it all weekend long. 80 years, one symphony, countless melodies. When I reflect back on the year, when I look back at what happened to us, I mean, a lot happened. A lot happened at the federal level. A lot happened at the state level. Speaking quickly about what happened at the federal level, you know, we got smacked in the face a couple of times. You know, the Department of Education decided that it was going to shut down and terminate the employees that worked in the Office of Civil Rights. Yeah. They decided that they were going to shut down and do away with you know, special education, and essentially the whole knowledge structure of the services that we require were going to be swept away in a matter of weeks. Did we stand by for that? No. We absolutely did not. We reacted. We responded at that national level. President Riccobono wrote letters, made phone calls. We made sure that our voice, our authentic voice, was heard. And surprisingly, the courts listened to us. Sometimes they do get it right, don't they? Now, throughout the year, as we worked our way through the issues here in Arizona, we came up sort of with our own theme. And that theme, if I had to put my finger on it, would be building for the future. You know, working, you know, and talking about what is it we need to do to grow our membership. What is it we need to do to increase our fundraising? What is it we need to do to better advocate for changes, whether it's in policy or in legislation? And what do we need to do to help grow leadership here in the National Federation of the Blind of Arizona? Now, over the last couple of years, we have been fortunate to be able to send people to the Kenneth Jernigan In-Service Leadership Program at, you know, based out of our national center. It is a year-long program that puts individuals to task about knowing and learning our history, knowing and learning our philosophy, and understanding the problems that we as the National Federation of the Blind face on a daily basis, and how to respond. Not only how to respond, but how to predict and anticipate those challenges and show true leadership. So I'd like to throw a shout out to Christopher Crowley. And to Macaulay Beasley, even though he's now in Mississippi. You know, he went to the Kenneth Jernigan Leadership as one of us. And so there are opportunities, you know, for leadership. And I encourage people to come talk to me, to talk to Chris, to talk to Macaulay, to talk to other leaders within the Federation about what is it you need to do to be able to experience a Kenneth Jernigan in Leadership program. And it's tough because there's maybe 22 people every year that get selected for that program. It's more selective than our scholarship program. So the fact that Arizona has sent 2 within the first 3 years of this program, I think that we have a lot of leaders who do well in the National Federation of the Blind and who are effective here in the state of Arizona. Now, let's talk about membership. We'll start with our chapters and our divisions. You know, the chapters, those are the heart of our affiliate. I tell people all the time that the National Federation of the Blind is a grassroots civil rights organization for blind people. Where is our root structure? It's the chapters. Without the chapters, the rest of what we do within this state can be easily brushed away. So I urge each and every one of you, if you are not a member of a chapter, to join. Even if you've joined a division, which makes you a member of the affiliate, I encourage you to join our chapters. How do we go about recruiting our members? Well, first and foremost, we advocate locally. You know, we go to community activities. We participate in things such as Beam Month. Yeah, here in Tucson, the members of the Tucson chapter will spend a day on that second Saturday at Tucson Meet Yourself, you know, letting the community know that there is another organization or another group of individuals that exists right beside them, and that is our community of blind people. You know, you have to get out there to be seen, to be heard. Phoenix chapter, you know, they have their first Fridays. You know, last year for Beam Month, I believe it was, they were able to get a proclamation from the governor, or not the governor, but from the mayor of Phoenix, Mayor Kate Gallego. The Phoenix chapter has grown its membership to approximately 55 people. But that's not enough. If you look at the state of Arizona, essentially our membership stops about the midway point as you move north and south. What do we got in the northern part of the state? I'll tell you, we have a lot of blind people who we've not reached. So we have to reach to the northern part of the state. We have to reach to the southeast part of the state, the southwest part of the state. We have to truly become a statewide affiliate where we have people sitting in this room that come from all sections, all counties here in the state of Arizona. So that is our goal. That is our objective. That is to reach and to give people the opportunity to walk beside us, you know, as this movement moves forward. Now, another thing we do or have to do, and that is educate the public. If you look at the purpose in just about every constitution of the National Federation of the Blind, it talks about educating the public, you know, about the true capacity of blind people, about dispelling those myths. You know, I not only don't have super hearing, I can't even hear out of one of my ears. You know, I mean, but it's amazing the number of people that I work with, and I talk about the audible pedestrian signals, and they're like, "Oh, I never noticed it. You must have really good hearing." I'm like, if there was a car coming from my right, I'd just get simply run over. I can't hear that. So it's dispelling the myths and sharing the truths. So I'm going to issue a challenge to each and every one of you. It's a challenge that I embarked on several years ago, and that is the goal of talking to one person every day about the positive truths of blind people. You know, when you get in that Lyft or that Uber and your driver says, "Can I ask you a question?" I mean, we all know what's coming, don't we? How'd you lose your vision? Did you lose it every day? Well, or did you lose it when you were young? Were you old when you lost it? And I deflect. And I said, well, let's talk a little bit about blindness. It's because it's not, because to everybody, I mean, I could rip my shirt open and all that's underneath is a white t-shirt. There is no S on my chest. I mean, I'd like to believe there was an S, but there is no S. I'm simply an ordinary person. And they think the fact that I can walk down my driveway, which I do almost every day, find their car, which is parked at the bottom of my driveway, find the rear door seat, and get in and buckle myself in. They think that is an extraordinary task, an extraordinary accomplishment. And really, I'm like, well, it's the same thing you did today, right? I mean, so we have to dispel those myths. It's not that I have extraordinary abilities or senses. It's that I was given an opportunity to be given the proper tools, training, and techniques to do what is important to me, and that is get up and go to work and do the same things that Lyft driver is doing. That's important, that we share our individual stories, that we share with that sighted community when they ask, "May I ask you a question?" That we share with them what those truths are. Now, we talked about the philosophy, and our philosophy, you can look back at 1940 and read what Dr. Jacobus Tinderbrook wrote. And you can understand what our philosophy is today. Because over the years, our philosophy's been rock steady. Maybe some of our legislative priorities or initiatives have changed, but our philosophy has been consistent. And we say it in various forms, but there's a deeper understanding that we are hoping to make sure that you as individuals learn. I mean, to me, I can tell people I was given, the proper training, the proper tools, as well as the opportunity to demonstrate my capacity as a blind person, and my capacity and my expectations for me as a blind person. I lost my vision in 1948, or not 1948. I lost my vision when I was 48, and my expectations of what I would do never wavered. I was a second-year law student in my second week of my second year when I lost my vision. I started out going to law school expecting to graduate in 3 years. I wanted to graduate with honors, and I did both. We, as blind people, do not lose on our hopes and our desires because we're blind. Now, I'm going to jump to more about what this year's about. Now, you heard from the Arizona State School for the Deaf and Blind, as well as the Tucson School for the Blind. We started out this year with a legislative priority, and once again, we got smacked in the face. We learned that the Arizona State School for the Deaf and Blind, which had a residential campus here in Tucson, Arizona, just a couple of miles down the road, we learned they were closing that school. And that they had already made a deal with another school district to take over one of their closed schools and open it as a school for the deaf. We're like, well, that's cool. What about a school for the blind? We're working on it. That's what they told us. We'll let you know when we know. We attended their board meetings. We held a special meeting with us and them to ask and to demand, answers to some of the hard questions. They talked about the cluster sites, but they couldn't tell us where the schools were going to be, how the sites were actually going to operate, or how they were even going to determine which kids had access to the cluster sites and which kids would simply go to Pueblo High School, to get the skills and the training, the necessary skills and training to be, functional, to be competitive in this world. They didn't know. Well, you know what? Tucson School for the Blind, they said, well, we know. We're going to open our own school. And while they're not still here, I commend them for it. But throughout this process, the National Federation of the Blind and our partners, led by Savvy Services for the Blind, we said, these are our kids too. Because when they're done with your school, all they have is us. All they have is us to help them along the way, whether it's through college, whether it's through employment. All they have going forward when they leave your school is us. Savvy Services for the Blind did special IEP training for parents whose kids, were being pushed back into public school districts. Parents and kids who were frightened, scared to death, they did IEP training. They did training for some of the staff and instructors at the Arizona State School for the Deaf and Blind. And we, as the National Federation of the Blind of Arizona, work really hard with Savvy Services for the Blind to hold them accountable. So, I don't intend to speak behind anybody's back, but I will speak some truths. This morning, we heard a presentation from the Arizona State School for the Deaf and Blind, and we heard a presentation from Tucson School for the Blind. How much did we learn about the programs and about the instruction, about teacher requirements, about what student expectations could be from the Arizona State School for the Deaf and Blind? We learned about their job descriptions, but how much did we learn from Tucson School for the Blind? We learned a lot. We learned, about their programs, the expectations. We learned about, teacher, responsibilities, counts, and they brought their entire high school group to our convention this week. We talk about partnerships. I want to partner with Tucson School for the Blind. Now, I'm going to skip a bunch of my notes. I'm like Carl. Carl's got like 20 pages of notes. So let's talk about legislation and advocacy. We spent a lot of our efforts on the Older Blind Independent Living program. We asked for $1 million because back in 2008, 2009, they swept $500,000 away from us, to support that program. And we said, we not only want that $500,000 back, but if you had given it back to us when you reimbursed or refunded all of the other agencies and departments, we would be up at least $1 million. And just to get people off the wait list and to service our blind seniors, we need $1 million. As you heard Amy talk the other night, that $1 million would only raise the level of funding for every blind person in the state of Arizona by about $2. It's not $2 an hour, $2 a day. That's $2, period. What can you buy for $2? I know that we're selling candy bars here at the convention. That Matt Mazak selling candy bars. He was selling them for $1 last year. They're $2 this year. That's what you can buy for $2. And we've been told we support this. We support this. And we do get legislative support, but there's always something that happens. So what does that tell me? What does that tell you? It should tell us that advocacy is a constant. When we hear that we're going to get something, that we're going to give you the $1 million, I say we don't write letters of thank you. We write letters telling of our history and our failed expectations because they failed to deliver. We tell our senators and our representatives that I appreciate your support. However, can you guarantee me that support when they come down to vote? Can you guarantee me that support when you fail to put our bill or sign our bill to a committee so it doesn't get a hearing? Can we count on you then? Advocacy is a constant. It must be done continually. Now, we talked about what one of our members has done to really help grow the National Federation of the Blind. Excuse me. I had to stop this thing from chattering. I was talking too much. But our seniors have been a very active advocacy group. Not only have they advocated for that additional funding for the Older Independent Living Blind program, but they've worked diligently on the transportation issues in the valley. So I would like to throw a shout out and a thanks to our seniors for taking on such an important battle that we have. Now, I talked about us getting smacked in the face. We had some challenges that came nationally in the middle of us dealing with the ASDB issue. We're dealing with them trying to close the Department of Education and not knowing where our services were going to be assigned or if they were going to be reassigned anywhere, even though legislation says it has to be. We had to deal with some issues. The Randolph Shepherd program came under attack. came under attack from the Secretary of Army, who, I can't remember if it was a blog post or Facebook, a podcast, where he joked and talked about how blind people were being given these enormous troop dining contracts, and they were being placed under like their mother's name or another family member's name, and that the blind person wasn't even working, in that troop dining facility. Made a big joke about a program that we have been, struggling to support, struggling to make sure it gets its legislatively mandated priority when building on certain government contracts. We've been fighting with our own government, since the early 40s, the late 30s, to ensure that blind people are given opportunities, as we discussed earlier this morning. Right now, it looks like the courts are a little bit on our side, and we're appreciative of that. But that doesn't end our fight. We have to continue to fight for the Randolph-Shepherd program here in the state of Arizona, as well as nationally. Now, we dealt with ADA Title II disability rules. 12 years or so ago, we were told that the Department of Justice was going to promulgate rules and regulations for Title II accessibility. We were finally on the threshold of those rules coming out this past April, when 1 week before they were supposed to go active, they basically passed a special rule extending the time frame that governmental entities would have to become compliant by either 1 year or 2 years, depending upon certain criteria. So once again, blind people had to wait. Here in the state of Arizona, I worked for the government, and it was amazing how many phone calls I was getting, how many people wanted to come by my office and see how my technology worked and did not work. And because we were 2-3 weeks out from the go live date, and they had not met the standard. They were not accessible. And they were working hard to get there. And then our government gave them a break and said, oh no, you don't have to be compliant in a year, in a week. You've got a year, and because of your county, probably 2 years. So you can reach out to Pima County if you're an employee for Pima County and ask for family leave, and the forms are not accessible. Not accessible, and they don't allow you to download programs like RIM on your government-issued computer. So we fight, and we're fighting that battle, not just on a statewide issue, but on a national level. Professional certification, that's been a battle we've been fighting for about 5 years here in the state. SB 1824, it advanced the professional certification that we sought and fought for here in the state of Arizona, so that our instructors of blind children, our teachers of blind children, have to have certain certifications, certain qualifications, so to instruct blind children. Now, Our battle came from within our own community. Our community or members of our community lodged a resistance and delayed the passage of that bill because they didn't want to be held to the higher standard that we in the National Federation of the Blind believe in and advocate for our students and for every blind person that we come into contact with. Now, I know I've probably gone over, but I want to throw out a few things that we have done that are very, very important. I don't have all the numbers right now, but we have a NFB Bell Academy. Yeah. We not only have one, we have two. We have one in Phoenix, one in Tucson, and Savvy Services for the Blind oversaw and ran those two programs simultaneously this summer. You know, we reach a little over 20 kids this year. We were down a little bit, so we know that we have to get out there and advocate and grow our participation. But we have two programs that are reaching out and showing the community, you know, youngsters how important, you know, Braille is, how important it is to be associated with learning, you know, alternative techniques and to be exposed to positive role models who are blind. So thank you to Savvy Services for the Blind for that partnership. The National Federation of the Blind also offers STEM to You programs throughout the country. We had two. We had one in Phoenix, one in Tucson. Once again, we had a little over 20 people spread between the two programs. So we are showing, you know, the rest of the world that just because you're blind does not mean you cannot participate in STEM field activities. You cannot and that you, as a blind person, can even go on and hold jobs that are STEM related. So thank you to Ashley Moon for running that program for us. We had participation and attendance at our national convention this year. We were number what? Three. We were number 3. Now, that's amazing because our state, landmass-wise, is about the 6th largest state, landmass-wise. But we have incredible, vast amounts of rural communities. You know, if you go up to the northern part of the state, you have people that their nearest neighbor is a mile or two away, maybe more, down the road. So the fact that we're number 3, I think of, you know, I think of our bigger states, our more populous states, states that have, you know, multiple major cities. You know, I think of California. You know, what do they have? They have like 40 million people that live there. You know, Texas beat us, but we were in Texas. One would expect that Texas would beat us. You know, Florida, they've got a massive population. They didn't beat us. New York, they didn't beat us. None of those eastern cities or states beat us. We show up. We talked yesterday. You know, it's one thing, you know, to share your voice. It's another thing to show up. We showed up, and in 2030, we're definitely going to show up when that convention is held here in the state of Arizona. Now, I could go on and on about what we've worked on, but you know, we had a robust legislative agenda. We had to react to certain things that happened. I think on Thursday night, Amy talked about us reacting back in 2013. You know, and that was a guide dog issue that all of a sudden popped up on the box. It was going to require certification, and we showed up. We brought 50, 60 people to the committee hearing. Anybody and everybody we knew with guide dogs, we brought them to make sure that people understood how important that issue was. We didn't want to have to register or put a special harness or tag on our guide dogs. The ADA and other pieces of legislation are very clear about the things you can say, can ask in regards to a service animal or a guide dog. And we wanted to make sure the state of Arizona was very crystal clear on what that was. It reached the point that during the middle of the committee hearing, after we've finished testifying, the Speaker of the House called down to the committee and told the committee chairman to pull the bill. So that's because we showed up. And we had to show up a lot this year. It sidetracked us a bit, but it kept us moving in the direction of advancing the lives of blind people here in the state of Arizona. It is what makes me passionate about being a part of this organization. I welcome you if you are a member of our organization. I welcome you if you have not yet made that decision, that choice, to become a member of the National Federation of the Blind. But if you want to be in the room where it happens, let's go build the National Federation of the Blind. Thank you.
Prize. Door prize.
Okay.
Thank you, Joe.
I
Joe,
forget.
you
I forget that the microphone comes back to me after that. We chewed up a lot of time. We're going to do a couple of door prizes after our next speaker, but I do want to make sure that we provide ample time for our next speaker to share his thoughts and his words, about the National Federation of the Blind, the words that are reflected from our national president. So throughout this weekend, and every time that we come together as a convention, we're blessed with an individual that our national president has selected to be his representative, to share with us, what is happening in the National Federation of the Blind. What are some of our initiatives, our priorities, and you will hear him talk about the manual that we are sent when we are asked to be a national representative. It is single-spaced. It is about, 20 or so pages of just densely packed material, mostly links to bigger articles. So if you printed it at all, which somebody did once, they said it was almost 100 pages of material, because that's how busy we are. So with that, I'd like to call to the podium our national representative, Carl Smith.
Stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. No, I'll stand my ground, won't be turned around, and I'll keep this world from dragging me down. Gonna
all right, can you folks hear me?
stand my ground.
That's a great song. I like that. That's a good one. And that's true. We won't back down, will we? I have to say that I was just as talented as your president here. I can go down the driveway and find I can find the Uber and I can get in it. Except the first time I ran into a Tesla in Washington D.C. I couldn't figure out how to open the stupid door. Find the door handle. It looks like a door handle, but it's all flat. Finally, the guy said, "Push in on it." So next time you get a Tesla, push in on it. That's what you got to do. It is really an honor for me to be here. I met your president Donald Porterfield a couple of years ago when he was a national representative at the National Federation of Blind of Idaho convention, and it was a pleasure to be there with him. I will tell you that I really admire two things. One, I admire him for his diligence in coming out to this convention, having been in the hospital and so forth. I had a retina detachment way back in years ago, which you'll hear about later on today, but after my surgery, I was state president at the time, and I went to convention. I was sitting at the head table the whole convention with an ice pack on my head. So I know exactly what it's like when you don't really feel like being there, but you have to be there. Now, on the other hand, I want to also congratulate the rest of you, because despite the fact that President Porterfield has been in the hospital and all these things have been happening to him, this convention has been tremendous. All of the people that have had jobs clearly have been doing them. And if they haven't, they hit it well, because the convention has been running smoothly. I'm impressed with your all of the different divisions you have. It is unusual for a state convention to have a whole day basically of division meetings like you did yesterday. That was really great, and I was able to see some of those and meet some of the folks in the technology ones and the students and so forth. It was really very good. I also appreciated today Mara's presentation as why I'm a Federationist. That is the bottom line of why we're all here. Those kind of things, those stories like that. Now, having said all those good things about you, I have one complaint. Nobody has hit me up to buy anything. I heard you had candy bars a minute ago. Well, I love candy bars. Nobody's hit me up and tried to sell me one. I did finally buy a raffle ticket, but nobody hit me up for it. You know, what's the deal here? You know, you're supposed to figure that, you know, I'm the national guy. I'll come in and you take my money for your state, not for mine, right? Now, you know, just because I'm a national representative doesn't mean I know everything. Donald gave it away. He said they give us this document, which they do. And I'm a terrible note taker. For those of you who can hear this, there's 21 pages of Braille here. I thought I was taking notes, and when I got finished and ran it off, it was 21 stinking pages long. Now, the good news is I don't have to use as much of it as I might have, because I've been very impressed. You guys have taken a lot of the initiative that's discussed in the national report. The senior, older blind Americans information, we talk about that. You guys are pushing that. You guys are pushing for your state to cover things that hasn't been covered before. That is something we've had our senior division, some of the senior division folks have been back to Washington to try and encourage them. This was with the House and Senate appropriations committees, trying to get them to increase the funding. For years, funding for the older blind Americans has been flat. It's been nothing. It's getting worse and worse. I'm in the business of, I'm an assistive technology dealer. I sell CCTVs and software and you name it. And a lot of the CCTVs mostly go to seniors, because that's when you begin to lose vision a lot. And I can tell you that the budget starts, like in Utah, I think it's July 1st when they get their little infusion of money. If they don't get the orders and people in a list before July 1st, by about July 15th, the money's gone. And that's really unfortunate. I suspect that's the same thing that happens here, because the money has been very, very slow in coming over the years. So I'm impressed that you guys are working on getting your own funding here. Before I get any further, I want to just read something here which I want us to all to remember. This is what we used to call the elevator speech. It's kind of the summing up of what it is we do in the National Federation of the Blind and why we do it. It says the National Federation of the Blind, the National Federation of the Blind advances the lives of its members and all blind people in the United States. We know that blindness is not the characteristic that defines you or your future. Every day we raise the expectations of blind people, because low expectations create obstacles between blind people and our dreams. Our collective power, determination, and diversity achieve the aspirations of all blind people. And that's really the bottom line. One of the things that impresses me about this group is the diversity here. I've seen young people and older people and middle people and all of that. That's what it takes. We all have to be part of this. The Federation is really the sum of its chapters, the sum of its members. I said to the students yesterday, you know, we could lose the National Center, the Braille Monitor, the Jernigan Institute, the new technology excellence, all of that. We could lose all that. We don't want to, but we could. But if we really wanted it and needed it, what would we do? We would build it back if we had to do that. But if we lost our members, if we lost the people that come to these meetings and the people that prepare and plan and go and do all the things that we do, we couldn't rebuild that if it didn't exist. Those buildings and all of those physical things we talk about would not matter a bit, because we simply wouldn't be able to use them. We wouldn't be there. President Riccobono honors me and others to get to go do this job for him, because he can't go to every single convention that there is. He would like to, but if he did, his wife would probably never see him again. One of the things that is important to know about President Riccobono is his desire to be in contact with the members of the organization. You know, he can be contacted if you want to talk to him about a question or whatever. You can call him at 410-659-9314. You can also email him at officeofthepresident@nfb.org. And you might think, well, he doesn't want to hear from me. I'm just a lowly whatever. I'm just a lowly member. I don't have anything to say to him. He does want to hear from you. You know, him and I are turned out we are rowers. I use a rowing machine. If you've been to the National Center, you'll find a couple of them. I'm responsible for them buying those, because I told him how neat they were and how fun they were to have around. So he called me a while back and he said, well, I need some rowing ideas. And we talked about different things to do and how to use that as an exercise device, and how the app works on your iPhone. And he taught me something I didn't know about connecting it to my monitor, a different way than I'd been doing it. So even the old dog can learn some new tricks too. So if he wants to hear from you, because remember, all of the officers in our organization, from President Riccobono, President Porterfield, all the board members, all of those people are elected leaders. They do not assume power on their own. They have to obtain their offices by your and our voting for them. Therefore, they represent us. They do that far better than the representatives we have in Washington, I think. They listen to us. They come back and they hear what we say. And if they don't do what we want, sometimes they disappear. So that's a good thing. That's exactly how it should be. And so I'm really happy to be here with you on these things. Just talk to you about a few things. One, just a little bit of housekeeping. When you have elections, which you'll have today, we have been asked to remind you to let the president know. You can actually email this to Beth Braun at bbraun@nfb.org, or President Riccobono. Well, actually both, you should. They want to know who holds what office, even if it hasn't changed. They'd like to know. All you need is the name and the office. That's all they want to know is who the person is and what office they hold. They like to have this up to date, even if it didn't change, so they're sure that they know where information needs to be sent, if there's certain information has to be sent to the president or other board members. I want to also thank those of you who are members. If there are people out there who are not members of the Federation yet, I encourage you to join. You heard Mara's presentation this morning. That's a great example of why people join the Federation and what we can do to help. I would encourage you, if you have not joined, to do so, and to have the members of this organization to reach out to you and help you to get involved, find something to be doing, and to be a part of the organization as a member and as a contributor. You will find that to be beneficial. Part of my speech tonight will be talking to you just about how that happened to me and what it has done far more for me than I've done for it, certainly. It is vitally important that we keep our membership records up also. If you are members, we're encouraged to have you make sure that your membership record is kept up to date. You can do this. If you don't know how, you can talk to the affiliate president or your chapter president, see that your membership information is correct. You have the ability to update that yourself. Nobody else can do that but you. And so if you don't know how to get involved in the membership portal, please ask and get that done. President Porterfield and others can mention if you're active or not, or I'm sure if you've paid your dues or not, but they cannot change your contact information. Only you can do that. So I encourage you to see that that's done, because it helps us as an organization to know who our members are, who our paid up members are, and exactly the correct information as to where they are and where they live and so forth. Because as we go about our work in the States, it's nice to have a list and a group of people who we can call on from the different states, so that we have representation and we understand who those people are if we need to call on those. Years ago, 1981, a lot of you probably weren't even born yet, but the NFB of Idaho had an issue with the Randolph-Shepherd. We seem to battle with that a lot. The legislature was trying to get rid of what they used to call Little Randolph-Shepherd, that is state buildings that had facilities operated by blind vendors. And they called us, and a bunch of us flew into Boise, and we went to the Capitol building, and up in the gallery right around surrounding the whole floor of the legislature were blind people, canes, dogs, blind people. The whole place was full of us from all over the place. And believe it or not, that changed their mind that day. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I certainly will do that. Oh, can you? Oh, let me do that. A little twist and pull it up. Oh, there we go. Little twist. Oh, much better. Yeah. Didn't realize you could do that. Okay. All right. Okay. So the bottom line was we were surrounding those legislators with blind people, and it made them change their mind. They did not overturn that program, and we saved that program. Why? Because we were there. One of the things also that I should tell you, I've been to a number of state conventions, some as a national rep, also others just because. I've been to, of course, Utah, where I live, and Colorado and Nevada and Washington State and Idaho and Arizona. I was here clear back when Bruce Gardner was president, I think 2001 or so, something like that. Louisiana, Mississippi, different places, Pennsylvania. One of the things that I can tell you is everywhere I go, no matter how big or small the affiliate is, or the people that are there, that is the room where it happens. Those people are doing the same thing you guys are doing here. They may do it in a different way. They may do it lesser or more than you do, but they are working on the same things. You can feel the familiarity of the organization when you go to different conventions and see everybody coming together to try to do the things that we all know that should be done. There's some real, I think, confidence and real security in that, because we can, wherever we go, if you attend a state convention or go to a chapter meeting somewhere, you will find different people and different ways of doing things, but the bottom line is they're really all working together to see if we can do these things together. So I want to talk a little bit about a couple of items here. President Porterfield talked a little bit about this, about the Department of Justice and also the Health and Human Services trying to change that is to postpone. They postponed the rules dealing with. Let's see. I think that's the wrong thing here. Let me make sure I got the right thing here. I got these 21 pages of notes here, and I really didn't mean to do that, but I'm a terrible note taker. I didn't do well in college that way either. I did all right, but I didn't manage it because of my notes. In their interim report, they on these same issues, it was a direct threat to equal access for blind people. We need a rapid response to this, and Arizona has clearly been part of that, to make them change this. We've been waiting for these crazy rules for years, and this happens very commonly. government will have a plan. We'll do this in 2020, and the next thing you know, well, they now changed it to 2024 or 2025 or whatever. That is something that we have to maintain a pressure on them to keep that from happening. How many of you have heard about Texas versus Kennedy? Yeah, now here's the interesting news. When I first heard about it, there were 17 states that were signed on to the Texas versus Kennedy lawsuit. Now guess how many there are? 3. There is Alaska and Florida and Texas, of course. Now, this changed actually partly at the National Convention. I can remember when we started, I believe, Donald can correct me if I'm wrong, I think there were 6 at the beginning of the week. And by the end of the week, there were 3. So if you wonder sometimes if our efforts make a difference, they do. There has been a joint plaintiff and defendant filing, which is moving to cancel this lawsuit or to drop the lawsuit, but we don't know for sure whether there will be language that says that they're going to try to get rid of Section 504 or not. Section 504 has been around since I was a young man, and it's been an important part of our lives as in keeping things for us to get through school, to go to work, and all that sort of thing. So it's very important for us. We have had the members of the leadership of the states of Texas, Alaska, and Florida have visited with their legislators and things and folks trying to get them to drop their part of the lawsuit. It is important, however, for others to contact the Attorney General of Texas particularly and say, hey, you need to knock this off. We knocked it from 17 down to 6, down to 3. I have a feeling that if we keep it up, we'll get it down to 0, and that's what we want. Let's talk a little bit about some legal wins we've had of late. The federal court just vacated, we talked about this, Donald talked about this a minute ago, just vacated the Department of Education. It was the Department of Education trying to get rid of the Randolph-Shepard contract for Army contracts. That has been vacated now, so that means that did not happen. There are some people in Utah who are very happy because they handle some pretty large Army meal contracts. I don't know what you have here, but those are pretty big deals. If you have one, you're happy you do. On April 7th, in the Oregon State University has committed now to accessibility improvements for its blind and low vision students. Now, this is 2026. Why does a university have to be kicked in the head to decide to start considering making it more accessible? Didn't we deal with this a long time ago? We would have thought so. But unfortunately, we have to keep it up all the time. It doesn't stay unless we maintain this. This is why I've said earlier that 80 years for the NFB of Arizona existing didn't happen by accident and didn't happen because people said, good, we're finished. Let's go home now. And these things don't change because of that either. On March 16th, the Ninth Circuit, I've changed made my notes here. It's so short I don't know what they are now. The Ninth Circuit reinstated the jury award in the case against Los Angeles Community College. This was a jury. The jury awarded, and they first canceled it. Now they've reinstated it again. Again, doesn't happen because nobody paid any attention to it. A couple of other things I want to talk about. One of them is the National Museum of the Blind People's Movement. There's a piece of legislation that was recently passed. It is S3371, and actually it wasn't passed, and HR, these are two, and HR 6467. These bills will make the will recognize the museum when it comes together as first recognized by Congress, and also will make it possible to make it part of the historical record of the United States. It'll give us some of the prestige and things that we need to raise funds. I can remember back when we raised funds for the Jernigan Institute, and when they said we need $20 million, I thought, holy smoke, that's ridiculous. But we managed it, and we did it. And this is a similar project. I don't know what the final cost is going to be, but this act of Congress, and we get that through, will help us to be recognized as an authentic and real institution, as a museum, and be part of the historical record of the United States, which we really want. Here's a piece of legislation that is ready to be passed, I hope. This is called the restoration barriers to work for disabled Americans Act. This is H.R. 8884, and that passed the House back on July 23rd, and has been transmitted to the Senate. And what it does is it could help us, because we have the Blind Persons Return to Work Act that we're trying to pass through, but this one gives the Social Security Administration the ability to do some program testing, that is, to do some pilot projects, which could very well be just like the ones that we've been trying to get done for years in the Social Security Disability Insurance Program. And this would allow them, for example, what we've been trying to do is say, well, if you're on Social Security Disability, one of the disadvantages to it is if you go to work and you earn $1 over what the amount that you're allowed is, it goes away. It just disappears. There is no drawdown like there is on SSI. SSI, you have less money, but at least with SSI, if you earn more money than you're supposed to, then you're allowed to, then your SSI goes down slower. It goes down in a gradual, so to help you to work your way off of it. That doesn't happen in SSDI. So the Social Security Administration will be able to do these kind of things without having to pass different legislations to do that. So that we hopefully will get passed by unanimous consent if the Senate ever gets back together, since they seem to take a lot of vacations. But hopefully they come back together and do this. So this one is passed. You might want to contact Senator Kelly. Sounds like he's very supportive of this organization from his message yesterday. And your other senator, I don't know him, although he's in part of some of these bills we're working on. But it wouldn't hurt to contact them and say, look, please pass this, because this will really help us. Also, the NFB and several individual plaintiffs have filed suit against 3 counties in Alabama that challenges their failure to provide accessible electronic voting ballots for blind people, even though they do this for people who are either overseas or military overseas. They do that all the time. But if you're print disabled, they don't do it. And the court recently ruled that, well, the Voting Rights Act covers that. It's more important than the ADA. And so what all that gives us the right to is it tells us, oh, you can take somebody into the voting booth with you. So whoever you want, you can do that. So that basically takes away our right to a private vote. Means that you have to have somebody with you, which is what they decided is good enough. Well, that hasn't been good enough for a while, and it's very important for us to keep that up. I think this is being appealed as well. We also support the case of Emmeline Lacroix, I think it is, L-A-K-R-O-U-T, I think that's a French word, Lacroix, she was denied any accommodations and for excluding her from jury duty, Well, the court decided that that didn't matter because the judge had already said she couldn't be on the jury, so it wasn't the court's problem. So she couldn't be on there because, well, it wasn't. They didn't have to provide her with accessibility because the judge said she couldn't be on the jury anyway. So we have appealed that one as well. There's also the Blind Unbound program. That is a program where we are trying to put together stories and information about blindness that are designed to tell our story ourselves. At the National Convention, we have had places where you can go and record your story. And this is going to be an effort to collect stories and archive information about real blind people in real situations, and try to shatter some of those myths that have been around about blindness all the time for so many years that people just don't seem to get rid of. So we have to try and put this together. We'll be using multimedia and other things to help this happen. Your ideas and stories are requested. The better we can do, and the more we can get together, the best we can do. Let's see, make sure this is part of what I'm doing here. Each affiliate has been set a target for donations for this. Make sure I get this right, for donations and prospects to help to move this program along. They've asked to help that through state convention. I'm not sure if this convention has been doing that or not, but if there's been, we're looking for people, maybe business people, exhibitors, sponsors, others who may be able to help to contribute to help this program go along. I want to go through just quickly some of the legal things that we have going on here. Let me also tell you, in here, a lot of these things have links that you can go to. I decided after looking at this, I'm not going to tell you every http:// this and that and the other, because you're not going to write them down and remember them anyway. What I suggest is you go to nfb.org or http://nfb.org, and you will find all of this information in various pages there. These each have their own pages and own locations, but I think you're just as well off to do that, because it's not going to be something you're going to remember if I rattle all that stuff off to you. The Americans Return to Work Act is H.R. 1175. That is the one that's, I said, is already being somewhat covered by the new passage of the bill that's about Social Security. Has 53 co-sponsors. It has, guess what, 3 from Arizona. All right, now if we go down here to the Senate version, that's Senate 4334, and that one has, let's see here what it says. I wrote too much information about this. I put all these names out that I'm not going to pronounce them all anyway, so I didn't. I'm not going to read them all. This one has 1 co-sponsor. None yet from Arizona. So you need to work on that one. So you got 2 senators to work on, at least for there. The Access Technology Affordability Act, which is H.R. 1529. Let's see how many that one has. That one has, let's see here. Okay, that one has, okay, I've got too much information here. That one has, that one has 1 from Arizona. All right, and that one would be, let's see if I can tell you who that is. 1 from Arizona, it says, it's because he's the co-sponsor. Have 1 from Arizona. Yes, he is Representative. This is Representative Grijal. Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay, I knew I wouldn't get that name, so I shouldn't have even tried it. S1918 is the same thing. On that side, let's see if we have what we have from Arizona. It says, Aha, Senator Mark Kelly is co-sponsor of that. So you have one other to get that one done. So you guys have done some good things here. Here is the website and website and software applications accessibility act. That's HR 3417. That one has, let's see how many sponsors we have for that one. That one has, let's see, it has 11 co-sponsors, one from Arizona. All right, so that one is Abraham Hamadi. Okay. All right, that's we have one from there. The Senate version of that is 3974. That has, let's see, none yet from Arizona, it says. Okay, and then moving along here, here's the Autonomous Vehicle Accessibility Act. This is HR 4419. Did anybody take a Waymo at convention, by the way? Okay, so see, these things are moving along. You know, my wife has said that it's her dream to be able to get in a car, have it take her where she wants to go, get out and go do that thing, and then come home without having to ask anybody to take her any place. Well, it won't be too much longer that we can do that. So this one is for us. Let's see how we are coming from. It says none yet from Arizona. Okay, so we need to work on that one a little bit. What's it? Let's see. Maybe that's is he a representative? Yeah, he would be.
Yeah, he actually dropped it.
Yeah, see, maybe I skipped that. I think I skipped the. Yes, you are correct. Yeah. He's the lead. I was, but there's no other co-sponsors. Is the point. So we need those. Yes, I apologize, Arizona. Don't throw rocks. I didn't mean to do that. And the transformation to competitive integrated employment. This is the one that I said is being worked on right now because of the Social Security one. This one says the House version has none yet from Arizona. It says. The Senate version 2438 has, let's see, it has none yet from Arizona either. So you guys get on to Senator Kelly and is it Gallegos is the other one? Gallegos? Yeah, get a hold of those guys and see if you can't get them while the iron is hot here. So, okay. All right, now this last one here is interesting. It is the Connect for Health Act. This has to do with telehealth, making telehealth permanent. And this one has, let's see, I'm looking here because I had a number of them. Oh, I didn't give you the number, did I? Yes, it is HR 4206, and it has, this one has a lot I saw a minute ago. It has, let's see. Oh, here we go. 241 co-sponsors. It has 5 from Arizona. So all right, you guys are doing well on that one. Let's see if I can find they got a list of names here, but I'm not going to try to read them all because we see how well that works. Let's see, okay. I want to just, here's one other one. Medical device it says Medical Device Non-Visual Accessibility Act, which is HR 5605. That one has a sponsor. Let's see how many sponsors we have. It says we have, it says you have none from Arizona yet, so we need to work on that one. Okay, I just have a couple more things to just run by you. NFB Newsline, as you know, is how many? Do we have any NFB Newsline subscribers out there? Okay, all right, great. That is a program which provides much information. You know, my father-in-law was never a newspaper reader because he couldn't do it. He was blind, and you couldn't do that. Well, after his wife passed away and after he got his subscription to Newsline, every morning he would get up, get his cordless phone out, and call up the Newsline every single day. And he loved it. He had never had so much news in his life, and he read the papers and other things he looked up there. And so it was very important to him. Donald, I don't know whether you have a Newsline representative here in Arizona. Do you have one here yet? You do? Okay. Because they want somebody who is a liaison to try to make sure people hear about it, make sure that they're encouraged to use it, and also welcome new subscribers and so forth. I will tell you, you can subscribe to this one by NFB Newsline, NFBNewslineOnline.org if you want, or you can call. So that's a great service. There's also an app for the phones. You can do it that way. You can do it on the Alexa, although it's a little iffy, I think, but it works. All right, lastly, and this is interesting because one of the things I wanted to talk about was, of course, all this stuff requires fundraising. The end of the year is coming. The last 3 months of the year is our a really big fundraising push, and it's partly because we get our money, whatever we raise, we get double. HumanWare will match any contribution up to $50,000, so we can do that. We can do any kind of fundraiser, and you can do some of these during Blind Equality and Achievement Month if you want to sponsor activities and raise funds for that. They have what they call Coast to Coast, which are moving things like dances or walkathons, or there's one they're going to hike the Bay Bridge in that's not the Oakland Bay Bridge, but one in I guess it's the one in Maryland, I think. And then there's a marathon in California that will be happening. So there's a lot of things that are going to be going on that can be used for fundraising. And you can do all of those things you can do them anytime, but if you do them in the last 3 months of the year, then we can get our money double up to $50,000, and that's a very good thing. Lastly, how many of you listen to Access On? Woo! All right, the podcast, the NFB Accessibility and Excellence Department they've really been strengthened now in the last little while they have advocacy people by creating, these are specialists in accessibility in accessibility excellence. These are for advocates for education, employment, and home technology. One of them, my friend Ron Miller, used to work for Freedom Scientific, a very, very smart guy. These are new positions which have just been put together in the last year, which will help us to spotlight technology improvements, also things that need to be done. Jonathan Molson has been hired as the director of that department. He's a very outgoing guy and has done a lot of great things with the Access On podcast. It's one of the only podcasts I listen to fairly regularly because it's very succinct. It doesn't go on forever, and yet it actually does give us some very good information. I've gotten things on there that I hadn't gotten anywhere else. So if you want to do that, you can subscribe to that and Access On, it's called, for any of your podcast places. Also, one of the things we have also been doing is working with developers of artificial intelligence to try to make sure that a couple of things happen. One, that the artificial intelligence information doesn't have too much specious information about blind people. It's a large language model, and they collect all that stuff from all the information that's out there, and so you can guess what happens. What's interesting is at National Convention a couple of years ago, they took a picture of a man at the podium, and the description that came back said it was a man at a podium. It said he had a white cane with a red tip. Well, he didn't. It made that up. Those are called hallucinations. Sometimes they take, I guess they figured he was a blind guy. I don't know whether they could see, NFB or something, but they said he had a white cane with a red tip. He didn't. And so this kind of information gets buried in that sometimes. So we have to watch and try to purge that kind of stuff out of there if we can. Also, some of the things that have been happening, how many of you run across the Copilot key on the computer? Yeah, I hear that. When Microsoft first asked computer manufacturers to use that key so you could fire up Copilot, they didn't think about the fact that blind people typically use the right control key or the applications key. Well, we went to discussions with Microsoft. They have now made that configurable, so you can turn it off and put it back to the way it was when you first used it. I'm a programmer, and I was a programmer for years, and one of my things has always been, if you're going to make something, make it something I can change. Make it a setting, so I can turn it on or off, make it right or left, make it do the old thing or not. The same thing happens with function keys on your computer. You get the new computer and you found out Alt F4 doesn't close the computer anymore. It doesn't close the program because you've got some crazy function in there like volume up or screen brightness or whatever. Well, now you can turn those off, and there's generally a great way to do that. Purpose of my thing today is not to tell you that, except to say that if you have a computer with the escape key that has a lock on it, the FN key with escape will toggle those keys back and forth. So if you've wondered why that darn key isn't working the way it should, try that and see if you can get them back to the old ways. Also, we have Microsoft and the NFB have been putting together some tutorials on using the Copilot program with Office 365. Those will be released as they're done, as they're finished. So that'll be available for you to get on and figure out how all that stuff works. I've not used that particular one, but it is becoming very, very popular. Quickly talk about the Monarch. How many of you seen a Monarch? I can remember when I first came part of the Federation, there was some talk about, well, there was no talk about single line displays at the point, but there's been talk about multiple line Braille displays. I've been involved in the R&D committee over the years, and there were a number of different people who came to us with ideas on how to do this, and we've dreamed about it and wondered about it for years. Well, now we have it, and all of you get your wallets out. There's a special deal. If you want to buy one, if you're an NFB member, you get it for a whopping $12,900. Now, that's a lot of money. However, it's $1,600 cheaper than anybody else gets it because you're a member of the NFB. Now, that sounds like a lot, which it is, and I realize most people are not going to be able to sit down and write a check for that. But I can remember when 80-cell Braille displays themselves were $11,000. So, this is coming down much quicker than you might imagine. I suspect as time goes by, we will begin to see these things get down to somewhere where a human being can actually buy one. But if you haven't had a chance to see one, I hope you do. I do training through the Center for Assistive Technology out of APH and Alabama Institute for the Blind. They just sent me one the other day, so I have one to play with now. It's so cool, I didn't have to buy that one. Okay, finally, I just want to thank all of you for being here and to be ready for the 2027 Youth Slam. That will be a program which will be next summer, where we'll take 100 blind high school students from around the country and provide them with a week of hands-on type of STEM work. We did this, I believe it was 2007. That's when they dissected the shark and all kinds of weird things. But I don't know what they'll do next year, but this was the first time we've had one in a long time. But they'll bring together blind scientists and blind people who are in the STEM business to show blind students, high school students, that it is possible to get involved in STEM. And this is something which, a lot of us were discouraged from just because it's hard to dissect a frog or to look in a microscope or do all those things. But there are things you can do. So if you have youth, high school youth that you think would be good for this, that will be a great program for them to be involved in. Lastly, I want to say, Donald, you're fortunate. I don't know where Arizona is in the PAC plan because the accounting people didn't send me the information. So I have no idea where you are, but I would encourage, if you can, the pre-authorized contribution plan is a place where you can contribute something every month. You can do that by using a void check. You can do it on a debit card. You can do things differently than we used to. And it is something you can do as a regular, as little as $5. And that is a general constant source of some income to help us do the projects that we're doing. Usually we like to have the states kind of get a little competitive here and say, well, gee, Arizona's only $50 a month behind somebody else, but they didn't send me that information, so I don't know. So you guys may be number one, so I know, I don't think so, but anyway, they didn't, the ladies got my message and never sent it to me. You do have one Dream Circle person here in the state. They didn't tell me who that was. You have also had one car donation for the year. Somebody has donated a car. So those are good things. I did get that information, but I want to thank those of you who are part of the PAC program and encourage you, if you can, to increase it if possible. If you aren't part of that, you know, $5 a month, they used to say that's a cup of coffee. Well, I don't know, at Starbucks, it's probably not quite a cup of coffee anymore. But $5 a month is the lowest. You can do that if you want to. You can change it anytime you need to. It is sort of a little bit of a painless way. Once you get used to that, you can just get used to budgeting for that. But those are the things that we do to help fund the movement regularly. The other things that I talked about, the year-end funding and so forth, that is something which we try to do, which is get money from other people, because we only have so much. You know, you and I can only dig in our pockets just deep enough. And so anybody you can find who is willing to contribute is a good idea. So any of that you can please do. I want to just say, does anybody have any questions that you wondered about that you hoped I would cover that I didn't? Good. Okay. All right, well, thank you very much, and I appreciate this.
Thank you very much, Carl. Thank you. Thank you, Carl. Thank you very, very much. So here's what we're going to do. Door prize table. I need you to get 3 door prizes ready to go.
We're ready.
So you need to have them ready to go. We need to move through them quickly. We're going to call here in a minute Bob Kresmer to the podium for the nominating committee report. So, door prize committee. Door prize number 1.
Door prize number 1, someone who likes to eat. We have $18 at Subway. We have $10 at Starbucks. We have $25 at Safeway and an NFB hat. And the first name on that is Alicia Omiji. Sorry.
Not here.
Not here. All right. On we go. Sarah Ann Gorey.
Yeah. Okay. So take it Sarah Ann's here. Sarah Ann's here, correct? Yes. Okay, moving on to door prize number 2.
Okay, next we have a bunch of pleasure stuff. So, 50 bucks. Okay, we have, all right, it's a marble Epsom salt bath set. And this has more fragrances on it than I can list in the amount of time I'm given. This is a really cool looking thing. We have also with this a crystal bracelet and a Visa card for 50 bucks. And some salsa, I'm told, is also, thank you, Joe, added in here. Oh my. Liberty Moon. She's in youth track, isn't she? Does she get it? No?
Yeah, Jordan, you realize she's probably going to take a bath and use every bit of it tonight, right? Okay, so door prize number 3.
She does get it. Okay. Okay. What's number?
She gets it. She's in an official activity at the convention.
Okay, number 3, also to have fun with. Majestic movie theater tickets for 2. We have pizza, $25, and a really nice game set from something called Sweets Games, and this is a rummy card game. It's a rummy card game. Julio Davila. I guess he's here. Wow. Yeah. Also, thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. Joe, you're wonderful. I have been asked to remind you that there are raffles still underway in the room. There's a raffle back here for the affiliate, and it's a mystery box. And lots of other items. $5 a ticket. I'm getting cued. $5 for, 5 tickets for $20, and then there's also a student division raffle in the lobby. The merchant division, are they having?
We also have merchants and parents who are conducting raffles.
In other words, get up here and spend your money.
Okay. We got Bob Kresmer with our nominating committee report.
Right here. Nice, Bob. Thank you, Joe. I love that. Hello, friends and family, old friends, new friends. The nominating committee met and came up with a nominating slate, and that's what I'm
together now.
closer yet. Okay. Jeez, I've got a beard and it's rubbing against my beard. So the nominating committee came up with a slate, and my job today is to present that slate to you. Normally, each odd year, all the officers of the NFB board are elected, and plus 3 board members. And then on even years, 3 board members are elected. This year, we have some officers that have positions open because of vacancies that occurred during the year. The vacancy for a 1-year term for treasurer is being held currently by Emily Poppenfuss. And the nominating committee puts forth Emily Poppenfuss as the candidate. The officer of second vice president has been vacated by Beasley, and so. Pardon?
Cody Beardsley.
Oh, Cody Beardsley, that's right. I started with a B, I got them mixed up. So Cody Beardsley has left the state, and that vacancy is open right at the moment, and the nominating committee puts forth Tariq Williams as the candidate for that office. And that's for a 1-year term to get back on the normal cycle of officers being elected in odd years. The director positions for 2 years that are being held right now. The first position is held right now by Amy Porterfield, and for the 2-year position, the nominating committee puts forth the name Amy Porterfield for that position. The second director's position for 2-year terms is being held now by Vicky Farley, and the nominating committee puts forth Vicky Farley on the nominating slate. The third position for the director's position is being held now due to a vacancy. It's being held by Kimberly Fetterman, and that's for a 2-year position. So the nominating committee puts forth Kimberly Fetterman as a candidate. Now it happens that there will be a 4th director's position that will be held for 1 year to get back into the normal cycle. So the nominating committee puts forth the name of Mara Olvested for that position. Now that completes the slate. I present to you the nominating committee's slate of candidates for your approval. There's a motion and a second to adopt. All those in favor, please say aye. All right, anybody silly enough to oppose, say no. There we go. Donald,
Okay,
turning it
thank
back to
you.
you.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you to the nominating committee. The nominating committee, of course, is the only committee meeting we hold at convention that is closed to the public. Just to explain some things really quick, the nominating committee put forward the name of Tariq Williams, who currently serves as a director. They put forward his name for second vice president. Should that go forward, then his board position opens, and that's why there's a 4th board position. So we're going to jump right into the elections. You should have a rubber wristband. I don't know what color they are. Doesn't really matter. You should have a rubber wristband that you were given as part of your registration packet when you came and picked up your name tags. If you don't have a wristband, what that signifies is that you are not a dues paid member, or you're not current on your dues. So we're going to jump right into our elections. Are we prepared to go forward? Yes. Okay. So the first position that the nominating committee has put forward is that of treasurer. They have put forward the name of Emily Papafus. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Okay, we have a motion that nomination cease and that Emily be elected via acclamation. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of electing Emily Papafus via acclamation, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Hearing none, congratulations, Emily. Emily, do you want to say a few words? Okay. Well, I was expecting her to say a few words. No, just kidding. Okay, the second position on our slate today is that of second vice president, previously held by Cody Beasley. The nominating, or Cody Beardsley, Macaulay Beasley, Cody Beardsley. So, the nominating committee has put forward the name of Tariq Williams. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Okay, we have a motion and a second that nominations cease and that Tariq be voted via acclamation. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Hearing none. Congratulations, Tariq. That triggers that 4th board position being open. We're going to move to board position number 1. The nominating committee has put forth the name of Amy Porterfield. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? We have a motion and a second that that nomination cease and that Amy Porterfield be elected via acclamation. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed, say nay. Hearing none, congratulations, Amy Porterfield. The next board position number 2, currently held by Vicky Farley. The nomination committee has put forward the name of Vicky Farley. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations?
Cease and Vicky be elected via acclamation.
We have a motion and a second that nominations cease and that Vicky Farley be elected via acclamation. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed, say nay. Hearing none, congratulations, Vicky. And I'm going to take a moment to pause and to say thank you to Vicky and to her husband, Jim. They presented me with the gavel that I used this morning to gavel us into session. They presented that to me last night, so thank you very much. The third board position, presently held by Kimberly Fetterman. The nominating committee has put forward the name of Kimberly Fetterman. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations?
Second.
Okay, we get the gist that there is a motion and a second that nominations cease and that Kimberly Fetterman be elected via acclamation. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed, say nay. Congratulations, Kimberly. Now, we have a board position that is open. It's open for a one-year term in order to get it back on its normal cycle. And for that position was vacated when Tariq was elected to the position of second vice president this afternoon. So, the nominating committee has put forward the name of Mara Ovesad for board position number 6. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Okay, so we have a motion that that nomination cease and that Mara Ovesad be elected via acclamation. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed, please say nay. Hearing none, congratulations, Mara. I think we can do a couple of quick door prizes.
Tariq is doing the next one, Structural Discovery.
All right, quick door prizes. We have a really nice charging station. It's solid wood. We have the Olive Garden, $25 there. And we have Carl's Jr., $25 there. And a Wilson voice recorder. Ooh, they're getting good, aren't they? Raymond Wilson.
Let's hear it from Raymond.
Have you got one ready?
Raymond. Okay.
I can't remember all that. Yeah. Okay. All right, here we go. Number 2. Okay, you guys, I don't know. People like to eat. We have a big bag of trail mix, delicious trail mix. NFB 2026 t-shirt, NFB hat, and $75 at Bash's Grocery. Ooh, Randy Janek.
Okay.
You want another one?
We're gonna play some catch up, and maybe in a bit. But we're gonna move forward with the agenda. We were 47 minutes behind, so I think we've caught up a little bit, but hopefully we can get everybody out of here on time. Next on the agenda is why choose structured discovery, and for that I'm going to call Tariq Williams, our newly elected second vice president, to the podium.
Where's the music?
Oh, I'm not singing that.
That's it. That's all you get.
That's all right. Perfect. All right. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Stuck in the middle. So, I'm here to speak a bit about structured discovery, but I'm trying to think about the best way that I can do this and have it make sense for everybody in the room and beyond, and what this looks like for all of us. So I'm going to share some personal things with you all today about the star of this convention. And so, does anybody here know who the star of this convention is? I'm curious. Yeah, I guess it's pretty obvious. So on November 24th, 2024 is one of the months where my life changed completely. And that was when the star of this convention was born, Apollo Pierre Williams, who's currently taking a nap right now. So it's a little bit quiet, which is nice. Besides the point, nevertheless, it's definitely been a blessing to be able to watch him grow as an individual. He's 20 months, going to be 21 months here in a couple days. And it's been something to be able to watch him grow as an individual, as seeing him try to talk, try to crawl, start crawling, walking, running, falling, quite a few bruises, and some more falling. And, tears. There's definitely some tears in different moments. But, definitely when he sees Roy, for sure. But, maybe gets a hug, or maybe asks for a hug from mom or dad, and then he probably just stops crying mid-cry and starts walking and running again. And when I think about the last basically 21 months of his life, I don't think I've ever seen a better example of what structured discovery is. It's definitely been something to, once again, see his struggles, see him grow, see him smile, see him cry, but more than anything, just be him. Be authentically himself. I thought it was funny when he walked in here earlier, and he doesn't know that he's not blind, right? He uses a cane, and if I take his cane away, the tears are louder and louder and louder. And so being able to learn, once again, what it's like for him to just be his authentic self, whatever that means to him. Once again, I don't think I've ever seen a better version of structured discovery than continuing to watch him grow up and have the privilege and the blessing to be his dad. So bring it back then to what structured discovery is and why choose it is because honestly, whether we realize it or not, we're all living it every single day. because struggles are a part of our lives. You know, when we think about what being happy is in our lives, I'll tell you what it's not. It's not perfect. And if you think that becoming happy in your life and reaching those successes in your life looks like perfection, I apologize to tell you that's probably not the case, because struggles will happen in your life, and then you'll have others that are there to help lift you back up. And so getting to a little bit more of what this is a little bit, for some of you who already know this, quite a bit of you already know this, I'll go through this very quickly and try to get us some more time on the agenda. But it's a spectrum. It's meeting people where they're at. It's understanding that what one of us needs in the room might be different than what somebody else needs in the room. What it looks like to recognize that, hey, somebody got up and walked in the room today with some struggles, but still walked in because they knew what they can get in this room. There's somebody that went to Savvy Services for the Blind one day, and they had a lot of different things going on at home, but taking the time to listen to what they got going on and then being there for them through that to give them the structure, the guided learning that they're looking for to be the person they want to be. And once again, in a nutshell, that's truly what structured discovery is. There's a lot of misconceptions of it being radical and all these different things, and let's just talk about the elephant in the room for a little bit, the learning shades, right? You know, ultimately, it's finding a way to learn those non-visual skills. And I said earlier that we'll never know what anybody else in this room can see. I'll never know that. But when it comes to meeting students where they're at, how could I possibly do that? And I think that it's what it means to have our students have and learn non-visual skills. So we do that with the learning shades, blindfold, sleep shades. We've called it many things. But once again, it's even though I'll never know what anybody else in this room sees, I know that when they go to a Structured Discovery Training Center, I know when they come to Savvy Services for the Blind, that they'll have the ability to learn those non-visual skills and take them with them wherever it is that they go, for whatever that looks like for them. I tell the students all the time, believe it or not, when you're done with the program, I will not be coming to your house and asking if you're wearing your learning shades. I know that might seem shocking to some of you, but I have better things to do. I know, I have better things to do than tell people to wear their learning shades. Shocking. But once again, it's finding a way to meet people where they're at, emotionally, physically, what all those different things look like, to learn the non-visual skills. And I can go down the list once again of what it looks like in all the different classes, but it does look different for everybody else. And believe it or not, you all are probably every single day living a version of structured discovery, whether you call it that or not, because you've had people teach you different skills, and you've had other people, once again, give you the opportunity to be able to work through different situations in your lives and discover, so to speak. So if I could wrap this up in a bow, and what it looks like to not just work at a Structured Discovery Training Center, but make Structured Discovery what it means to be a part of my life as a lifestyle, I can't help but to always come back to thinking about the star of this convention, Apollo Pierre Williams. Because ultimately, there's a lot of different misconceptions, and I would love to talk individually with different people, and there's so many people in this room that you could talk to about what structured discovery is and what it isn't. But more than anything, once again, when I watch Apollo's life and him walking, running, falling, being upset, learning how to walk, getting that guidance on his every day, I think about what I want for everybody in this room And what I want for him is what structured discovery is. And what is it? It's opportunity. Have a good one, everybody.
Okay. Next up on the agenda. How many of you are a little bit tired of sitting here listening to somebody speak, drilling on and on? Well, hopefully, we're going to energize you, get your blood flowing again. So with that, we've got Hadassah Benson for a fit break. She up here?
Come back. Come on back. Oh, okay. That's him, and then you're at the podium. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay, there's a microphone on the podium.
All right, awesome.
You got to talk right into it, though.
Awesome. Can you hear? Oh.
Get closer.
Hello. Oh. Who's ready for a fit break, huh? All right, if you're able to stand up, let's stand up. And if you're not, that's okay. These things can be done seated as well. But let's move our bodies. You're okay. Oh yeah, so I am interested in starting a sports and rec group through the NFB of Arizona. Does that interest anyone? Okay, awesome. If you're interested, definitely let me know. You can reach me at 503-878-2235. Or you can send me an email at HBEN as in Nancy, SON as in Nancy, at savvy.us as well. And yeah, because I would love to get a group started. So yeah, let's do it. I wish I had my kazoo. But I don't. But doesn't standing feel so good? Like, we've been sitting for so long, like, you know? So. All right, guys, let's stretch. Let's raise our hands up. Let's stretch. Raise our hands in the air like we just don't care. All right, let's shake it out. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. All right, now we're going to do some side steps. All right, and so let's step to the beat. To the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. And you can like pump your arms too. You can like pump your arms up in the air if you want to. You know, let's get a little groove going. All right, we can do like high knees, let's go. And if you want to add some complexity to it, you can do elbow to knee. So, let's go. All right. Now let's do some like arm circles. Don't smack your neighbor though. So you could do arm circles bent at the elbow. So keeping your arms to your side, bend at the elbow and rotate your arms that way. Yep. All right, and if you want, you can groove too, you know. You know, feel the rhythm of the music. Oh yeah, looking good, everyone. So let's go. We're celebrating 80 years, guys. That's pretty awesome. So let's clap to beat. All right. And let's kind of walk in place, you know. Oh, gosh. Yeah, guys. Yeah. everybody. Awesome.
Billboard, baby, do it. Make them dance when they come on. Everybody looking for a dance, throw the one on.
If you wanna run away with me, I know a galaxy and I can take you for a ride. I had a premonition that we fell into a rhythm where the music don't stop for life.
Okay. Okay. Door prize table. You got a couple ready to go?
All right, one more reminder on the raffle tables, you guys. We're drawing it soon. That's what she says. Soon, soon. All right, we have a really nice gift basket from Sun City Coffee, and it has 2 mugs in it and some other items. We have a crystal bracelet. We have 1 free bowling game, and just in case, $25 at Safeway. So you can eat after all your activities. Paul Jennis the Third. The Third. Not just any Paul Jennis, but the Third. All right, Pat Drake. Not here. Okay. You snooze, you lose. Pam Bollingham. Doesn't sound good. Oscar Carreo. Oscar?
You hear Oscar?
Oscar. Daniel Early.
Also in youth track, are they back?
Is Youth Track back?
All right.
So where are all the people that are in Youth Track whose names we've called?
Is Daniel back? All right, he's here.
Which one?
Daniel Early.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Okay.
Now, do we have one more?
Okay. Yes, we do.
Okay,
We
let's
have
go-
one
Let's
more.
go with it, and then we'll
All
move
right,
back
we have
to
a,
the
a
agenda.
bag of trail mix. We have a certificate at Outback Steakhouse. Take that, and then there's one. There is a certificate at Bash's, just in case you get hungry. An NFB hat. And I said Outback. Okay. Okay. I need more cards. I ran out. 1 second. Just 1 second. The cards are being unruly. Lynn Kresmer.
Okay. Yeah, I heard her say I'm here. Okay.
And don't forget the raffles. Money, 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 money,
Okay,
money.
so next up on our agenda to talk about the NFB STEM to You as well as the Youth Slam is Ashley Moon, and Ashley is back at home in Phoenix with Lemmy, but while she may not be here physically, she's here in spirit and on Zoom. So with that, Ashley Moon.
Hi, everybody. Hopefully,
Hello.
you all can hear me. Can you guys hear me?
You are coming through loud and clear.
Okay, great. Awesome. So I'm excited to talk to you guys again this year about our STEM2U programs. This has been my 3rd year having the opportunity to coordinate the program nationally, which has been such a privilege. This year's curriculum was focused on forensic science, and it was so much fun. We had 13 programs across the country. There's actually the last one is happening today, like right now, so that's pretty exciting. Arizona had 2 programs this year, one in Tucson and one in Phoenix, and we had over 20 students participate, so that's really exciting. Unfortunately, next year, we will not have an NFB STEM2U program. I know that makes everybody really sad. But the reason we're not having an NFB STEM2U program is because we are having an NFB Youth Slam program. So the NFB Youth Slam program will be taking place next summer at the end of July. It's a 1-week residential program for high school students. They'll be staying on campus and at a college, at a university, and they'll get to select from different tracks. And the really cool thing about that is that this is not primarily STEM focused. So those of you who know what Youth Slam is, in the past, the Youth Slams have all been focused on science and technology, engineering, and math. However, this year, or I should say next year, the program will include tracks on a wide range of topics. Woodworking, there will be another forensics one. There will be some art ones, computers, all kinds of really cool tracks. So if you have skills and talents that you can contribute to the program, please keep watch for an application coming out in, I want to say November, to be a mentor or a volunteer at the program, because we could really use lots of people's support. Before I wrap it up, I just want to say thank you to everybody who helped with our Phoenix and Tucson programs. I'm not going to remember everybody's name right now, but you know who you are and you all did a great job. So I really appreciate all the volunteers and mentors we had and all the support from the affiliate. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Ashley. We appreciate your comments and your insights about what's happening. We have a couple of items left on the agenda. The next item on the agenda is Roxanne Torres in the room and Christine Griffin. Okay, I need them in the room. Okay. Okay, so next on the agenda, we're going to talk about NFB Bell Academy. And we do have 2 Bell Academy programs that we run, one in Tucson, one in Phoenix. And so for that, we're going to have Roxanne Torres and Christine Griffin tell us about the NFB Bell Academy.
Hello, everyone. My name is Christine Griffin. I am new to Savvy. I'm the statewide Children and Youth Programs Manager. And thank you. And we had a fantastic bell this year. We had about, there you go. We had about 10 students join us, and we had several mentors. And instead of hearing from me, I'd love for you guys to hear from the kids. All right, so we're going to start with Alyssa.
Hello. Hi. My favorite part of Bell was probably Probably STEM and Braille. Probably like 9 or something. Maybe 8 or something, but I went since I was like a kid, like a little kid.
She's all grown up. Do you want to talk? You want to hold the microphone? Here you go, your turn. Do you want, I can help you. No. Just say my favorite part. My favorite part. I gotta tell everybody. Say my favorite part. They want to hear you.
She's so excited. She can't make up her mind which she likes best. Right, Liberty?
Liberty told me out front that her favorite part of Belle was STEM with Miss Katie. Yes.
I'm Christian, and my favorite part of Bell is the technology and STEM. I've been going to Bell since 2017. This was my last Bell. Hopefully, I will come back as a mentor.
And RSG, that's right. And we're going to hear from 2 of our mentors that we had this summer. We're going to hear from Sayuri first.
Hi, I'm Sayuri. I was a mentor at Bell this year. I really enjoyed my time with the little ones. They were all so great. It was so much fun. I loved it, and I would do it again.
And our last mentor that we have here tonight is Angie, who was so beautiful this morning, right? It was wonderful.
Oh, sorry. Hi guys. So I'm Angie, obviously. Sorry. Anyways, working. I have never done Bell before. I started going to Savvy doing the RSG program, but I did get to be a mentor for Bell for the very first time, and I just gotta say that I really loved it. The kids were so good. They were having a lot of fun learning new things. I was having a lot of fun helping out, and I just hope I get to do it again.
She's saying your turn. I don't know who she's talking to. It's me. Hey, everybody, it's Roxanne. And thank you. We had a great Bell program. Again, this year we had about 9 participants. I really want to thank my staff here publicly in front of everybody because they worked so hard. Daniel Early was our lead. He did a fantastic job. We had a brand new Braille instructor, Miss Gretchen Ivers. She is fantastic. We had Miss Vicky, who we know her better as Ezra's mom. She did technology, also fantastic. Also we had, and then some of my mentors were, Leslie and Ray did the independent living. They were fantastic. The kids loved it. They made a mess, but they loved it. Who did our cane travel? I can't remember. Melanie! Oh my God, Melanie, I'm so sorry. Melanie, it's just because you're so fantastic. You're just embedded in my brain. And I was like, who else was it? Melanie, she was fantastic. It was great. And I have some bell ringers here too that are gonna talk a little bit about what they did. They're a little shy. We have a little toddler, and then we have Miss Aranza. Aranza, I want you to tell everybody what your most memorable moment was about Bell, okay? There you go. So habla un poco de lo que te gustó más de la Academia Bell. Y si no puedes, yo te lo interpreto.
Es que no sé cómo que.
¿Qué te gustó más de Bell, del campamento de Bell?
Cuando de Halloween.
No, de Bell, cuando estuvimos en el campamento estas 2 semanas, en mayo. ¿Te acuerdas que viniste con las otras hermanas, las gemelas, se hicieron amigas?
Cuando hicimos el. Que caminamos con la Miss. No me recuerdo.
¿Miss Melanie?
Con la Miss Melanie.
Ok, ¿y qué parte te gustó de eso, de la caminata?
Cuando estábamos caminando de las esquinas.
Okay, perfect. So she's really working on her English, but I think she's doing a good job. Someone interpret for her. Melanie, this goes out to you. Her favorite part was being with Melanie and learning all of the 4 corners. I don't know what that was, but she learned the 4 corners. I think that's great. All right, and then we have Gerald. We have our little sweetie pie, Gerald.
I know he's
I know. Gerald, what did you like about Belle? What was the best thing?
Big monster. Abby and the best book. Starting Rumble, Furry, and Grover. Big monster, Abby and the best book.
Gerald's favorite part is probably playing on a playground. But he is really enjoying reading right now. And that's his favorite book.
Grover.
That's one of our future NFB presidents right there. And then we had a fabulous mentor whom you all know as KJ.
Guys, that's me. Yes, guys. Hello, guys. I'm KJ. That is me. You know, I started in Phoenix Savvy as a student for 3 years, and I'm 15 now, so my 4th year was coming to Tucson Savvy and mentoring for all the little kids. It was really cool just seeing like how it came from the first day where they were all scared to talk to each other, and then at the end when they were scared to talk to us and didn't, you know, but they were all really good. So that was my favorite part, just being around them.
And we have a couple of mentors that weren't here that are just as fabulous. They're Tyler, Paul, and Alina Jennis. They were fabulous. So thank you, everybody. Can we get a big applause for the whole group? Phoenix Tucson Bell Academy.
Thank you very, very much for introducing us to our 2026 bell ringers, and for working the NFB Bell Academy. Still got some of my bells from National. Okay, door prize.
All right, you guys, it's the last call for raffles. Last call. They're going to draw really soon, and they're serious. All right, we have a crystal bracelet. We have 1 free bowling game, $50 at Target. Ooh, I know, I want that. Bree Costagan. She here? Stand up on your table and make yourself known. I dare you. Brenda Roberts. Oh, Joe. No, I want, she's not here music. Danny Roberts. Uh-oh.
We need to make sure we mix those cards up.
Yes, we will. You want another one? In this. Okay. Mr.
Yeah, let's
President,
do another
one more. Yes. Yes. We have movie night gift bag and 50% off Papa John's pizza. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. Aliyah Ochoa.
Okay.
I take it right here.
So,
And do come and do the raffle. Your chances are almost gone.
okay, back to our agenda. We're almost done, folks. Back to the agenda. Next up on the agenda, we have another big event coming up, and I'll back up a bit and really say that Amy talked this morning about how well the planning committee put forward the state convention. We essentially, start our deep and serious planning right around the beginning of national convention, and we get really heavy into it after national convention. So we only have a few weeks really to plan the heart of our convention. This year, our convention is followed by another event. Is it the 18th through the 20th, or the? Yes. So September 18th to the 20th. And when I say we, it's the sort of the collective we and Tucson will play host to the Southwest Student Seminar. And to talk about that, I'd like to call to the podium our newest elected board member, Mara Alvestad. Ask Amy how many times she's heard that song.
All right. So, like Donald just said, we will be having our Southwest Student Seminar on September 18th through the 20th. It will be held at the Tucson Savvy building, but participants will be staying here at the Sheridan Hotel. And I think the banquet will also be held here. We have been working really hard on creating a great agenda and theme. Our theme is the power of connection, networking with intention. So we will be learning all about mentoring, how to interact with people in a professional setting, adulting skills, financial basics, all these things that help you both in school and out of school when you are in the workforce. So we are very excited. We do have registration up. I just checked. On the website, it does say that registration deadline was yesterday, but there is an extension to the 31st. It's just not reflected on the website.
Porterfield?
Yes.
Who can come, Mara?
So if you are a Savvy student, if you are in high school, if you are in college or just barely graduated, you are welcome to come to our student seminar.
And so how long do they have to get signed up to go?
August 31st.
Let's go, guys!
I will give you the website The website is nabslink.org/upcoming-student-seminar. nabslink.org/upcoming-student-seminar.
Or they can talk to the Bell coordinators who are really linked up with it too, so Roxanne and Christine can help too.
Yes, I did send a link to Roxanne as well.
So, Porterfield with a question or a statement, because I was wondering if maybe we could even get Miss IL, our web, controller, to put a link to the NABS page on our website so that they can simply go to www.arizona-nfb.org. That's, I think, a way easier email at. or
It's a little bit easier
website
to
link.
remember.
So if we can do that and then maybe put something out on the listserv, I think it might better serve our members and our students. So.
Yes, just have her text me and I'll send her the direct link.
Okay, perfect. Anything else, Mara?
I think that is it. Thank you so much. We are very excited to see everyone there.
So most people would take this opportunity to talk about their raffle
No, actually, yeah, one more thing. I will tell you guys the standings of each person. In joint last place, we have Mara Olvestead and Sharonda Good. With a wide yay from Sharonda. In second place, we have Jordan Moon.
Things looking slim, Tariq.
In the lead is Tariq Williams. But the other three can still catch up. So if you do, for sure, want to see Tariq be pied at the end of banquet tonight, please come find me. I will be taking the tickets all through banquet. I will probably sit near the back so you can find me very easily. The votes are $5 per vote or 5 votes for $20. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other announcements that we need to make? Hearing none, I announce the time is 4:56, and we are adjourned until 6 p.m. Oh, door prize. Okay.
I don't have that.
Rules of order. Point
All
of
right, door
procedure.
prize.
Yeah. Somebody was asking a question.
Yes.
Call your name.
Ready?
Okay, and Brenda, what is?
And the affiliate.
They want to call the raffles now.
Are we doing all but the merchant raffle now? Oh, everybody that's doing a raffle wants to do it now. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's why I said what I said.
Like, I could tell you just looked at me like,
Okay, the chair recognizes Sharonda.
Hey everybody, on behalf of the Phoenix chapter, I guess I have to stand up. You all know that our table was supposed to have popcorn. Due to unforeseen circumstances that truly were out of our control, the popcorn is, I get a mic? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
The popcorn is not here. But there have been people who have not allowed that to stop them. They have pre-ordered popcorn. And so our goal as the Phoenix chapter is to get that popcorn to you. I need from you though, the one, if you order popcorn, can you come and find me? I'll stay at the front of the room for about 15 to 20. I'll stay right outside the room. Thank you, Emily, for telling me what I'm going to do. I mean, wow, that treasure. No, I'm just kidding. I'm only kidding. I love Emily so much. Anyway, I'll stay outside the room for 15 or so minutes. If you have not seen me today and you ordered popcorn, see me. I will be outside the room. I need to write down what it is that you already pre-ordered so that the Phoenix chapter can honor our commitment and get it to you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Can we proceed to a door prize? I don't even hear a yes. Okay. Okay, let's do a couple and let's make that last one a good one.
All right, door prize. Oh, Joe. Joe, stop. Joe is on it today, isn't he? All right, we have a gift bag from Sun Sounds of Arizona. It contains a mug, coffee mug, and an Echo Dot. There's also a free bowling game, if you're so inspired. And the first name is Linda Nice.
Not here.
Nope.
Draw again.
Okay, thank you, Joe. David Steinmetz.
He's not here.
I know someone. Oh, I think this person is here. Timothy Kalk.
Tim's here. We got one more?
Is he here?
Yes, he's here.
Okay.
We're going to do raffle tickets now. We're going to pull them.
No, we're going to do one more door prize first.
Oh, sorry. Okay, here.
Okay. All right, we have a trader. Oh my God, this is heavy. Wow. I want this. Wow. There are lots of items in here from Trader Joe's. Like, is this a spaghetti sauce and pasta? And oh my gosh, containers to put things in, and looks like nuts. Somebody's going to be eating really well with this. Christian Lopez, is it you?
He's here, right? Okay.
Abdallah.
So I hear he's here. He's here. Okay, so.
Donald? Abdallah? This is Abdallah from the hospitality. Just quick announcements about the hospitality before we adjourn, sorry.
Well, we're going to do door prizes.
Oh, more door prizes. Okay,
Door
after door
prizes
prizes,
up,
we'll have
and
an
then
announcement from the hospitality.
Then we'll take final announcements. Or raffles. We're doing raffles. So we're going to go ahead and start with the parents.
Yay, parents.
Tell us what you're raffling. Well, door prize.
Thank you. So you're tethered to the podium. Thank you. We're gonna have our students draw the tickets. So and Liberty, we know Liberty's here. Liberty. Do you want to draw? You're gonna draw a ticket, okay? All right. So for the first prize, we have a basketball, and Aaliyah's gonna pull the ticket. And the winner is Amy. AME.
Phone number ends in 5911.
Phone number ends in 5911. Oh, 5991.
A-M-E. We may call her because you don't have to be present to win.
Okay.
The second one is going to be for the Totoro backpack. Melanie Mulaney.
Yeah, Melanie.
Rubik's Cube, Braille Rubik's Cube, and a keychain. That makes noise, and it scared me. And Zachariah is pulling this. Zoe Armbrister.
Yes, congratulations, Zoe.
This is going to be for Phoenix Sun. It's like a little string bag, and it has some Phoenix Suns gear in it. And there's going to be 2 winners. Alan Curry.
Alan, you here? Oh, that's right.
And Benny Benito.
Congratulations. Is there another one?
We have just a few more. This is a small snack bag. It's an NFB bag with some Trader Joe's snacks. Sarah Bauman? What is it? Oh, Patman. This is the large Trader Joe's bag with lots and lots of fun stuff. Over $100 worth of stuff. Yeah. Benny Benito. And for the last prize, the fire pit. And Liberty's going to draw for this. This is it. To pull your dad's name. Amy Porterfield. Congratulations, and thank you all for supporting the affiliate and the parents.
Okay. Now, I heard parents, and did somebody say affiliate?
Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead and proceed to the affiliate.
Yes, we have those. So for the Bones, Milestone, Sound Me, 2 of those, a Measure Spout, Braille Labeler, Talking Thermometer, and Writing Guides, we have Melanie M. We have a Nordic Ware baking set, and Rebecca Amador. We have a basket full of measuring cups, measuring spoons, a liquid indicator, and a hot glove, and that goes to Melanie M. She's a big winner. For the heated blanket, Sierra Rigon. Yep. All right, and for the whistle tea kettle, Amy Porterfield. For the FabFitFun box, Ethel Card. For the insulated Arctic Cooler backpack, we have Brenda Roberts. Yes, thank you. For the Hamilton Beach Party Cooker, we have Brenda Roberts. For the infused blooming teapot, Amy Porterfield. For the 3 LED lights with motion sensor, Roger Early. The Crocheted Purse by Cynthia Woods, Brenda Roberts. That's Brenda Roberts. There. Okay. Also, the bowl, salad on ice bowl, Ethel Card. And for this beautiful cutting board, Kimberly Fetterman. The Loving Letters certificate. We're trying to figure out what it says. It's not Braille. Yeah, sorry. Is it? Thank you. We'll work on that one. And for the Colorino, we have Elisa Pollard. Okay, we'll try the phone number. 520-577-8617. Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
We just have those two, or are there more? That was it?
Yeah, I think Abdallah had an announcement about how.
Well, we're still, as I understand it, East Valley also has a raffle? No. No? Yeah, or yes? No, there's no more raffles. What?
No more raffles.
Okay, so no more raffles until we do merchants tonight. Okay. Abdallah, your announcement.
Hello, it's Sierra. Abdallah stepped out, asked me to pass on the message. The hospitality suite will be open until 6 p.m. today to 6 p.m. today. And then tomorrow morning, he mentioned he knows there's breakfast, but if you want to grab snacks for the road, at 8, the hospitality suite will be open. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you to the Tucson chapter. Okay, Emily.
This is less of an announcement, or I don't know. It's an announcement. I have a lost and found item. Somebody turned in an iPhone. So I have that iPhone. I will do what Sharonda's doing and wait outside the room for a few minutes, and then I guess I could bring it to the front desk, I suppose, if no one claims it. But if anyone's looking for an iPhone, I have an iPhone. No, I didn't know you could do that. You can ask the phone who it belongs to. Melanie's teaching me things.
Okay. So if you are missing an iPhone, please see Emily Pappenfuss outside the doors to this room. Any other announcements? Joe.
Super fast. We know that they're going to be getting the room ready for the banquet, so please, when we're done, bring your wireless mics to the sound table. The sound table is over here. So there we go. Thanks.
Okay, if you have a wireless mic, please make sure it gets to the sound table. Okay. Hearing no other announcements, we are adjourned. We need to stand up, turn around, and leave the room because they need to turn this for our dinner.